Good Wednesday morning. You're watching the main event. I'm out of breath, folks. That wore me out.
That was. Let's start over. That was not good.
Hold on. Good Wednesday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and if I pass out, I hope people know what to do. Obviously, number one, go through my wallet. And you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, three-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys, and if 41-year-old Mercedes Lewis can come back, so can 60-year-old Dale Hellestray. He's here, everybody. Hellestray's in the house.
Well, I almost played till I was 40. What sucks is that he hasn't. He might have been working out a little bit, but he's not been doing football stuff.
Well, here's the difference. You were playing late. I'm not diminishing you, but you were playing late as a long snapper.
Yeah.
He's coming back to be a tight end and block.
A blocking tight end.
Yeah. Which is pretty physical.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't come back to play center, for instance. You know what I mean? And for every down and stuff to that effect.
He could be the third player in NFL history to catch a pass at 41, the age of 41 or more.
I think any old timer will know one of those guys. Yeah. I'd be shocked if people guessed the second.
I
guy.
think you could probably win a couple drinks at a bar.
Yeah. Because I mean, it just one, he generally doesn't catch passes, but two, I don't think you know how old he was when he did it.
Yeah. Jerry Rice would be number one.
That's the obvious one that I think. The younger people might not get Jerry Rice because they don't realize how late he played, right?
How long he played.
How long he played. The Raider years, I think, get forgotten.
He's a 49er.
Yeah, so tell everybody who the other guy is because I have a feeling people won't know this answer.
That speedster out of Michigan.
Desmond Howard?
Who wowed people at the Combine.
Oh, Desmond, not Desmond Howard?
No.
I'm trying to think who the other great receivers out of tight ends, maybe? Out of Michigan? No.
Tom Brady.
What? Yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing?
Must have been a throwback to the quarterback.
Well, I think it wasn't it in the Super Bowl that he did that? He caught that pass, but I don't. Like I said,
I can't.
I don't know if I remember how old Tom Brady was when that happened.
Right.
That's the bigger side. Jerry Rice, you knew how old he was back then because nobody played that late back then. It was a big deal. Thing. But yeah, it could be the third person now coming back. Oh, Dale. Just saying.
Yeah. Steve, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm shocked.
More than usual?
That you chose to go that route to start the show when there's bigger news than that.
There's so much big news, Dale. I didn't know where to begin.
Well, there's not that much big news.
Oh, I mean, there's Vlad Jr., Ohtani hanging a curveball or whatever that was for Vlad to knock it into, back up to Toronto last night.
There's only one story, Steve, and I would think we'd spend the first 20 minutes on it or so. Your Utah Mammoth signed Logan Cooley to an 8-year, $80 million extension.
Yeah, good for them.
Here we go, Mammoth. Here we go.
Great, and only half the fan base is going to be able to watch it, Dale.
It's a good thing that they moved to Utah so they can start paying players.
Not only that, only half the fan base knows who Logan Cooley is.
That's all you got.
That's all it is. The best part is half the fan base that goes to the games has no idea that they're 9-2 now. I think they won last night, so I think they're 9-2 on the season. Half the fan base hasn't seen it. Has no idea they won.
Are you gonna enjoy that Stanley Cup march?
I'll go up there for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Wear one of your
celebration
Coyotes jerseys?
Yeah, no. I'll wear that blue Mammoth jersey. I like that. I like that a lot. Look, they have some young, good kids up there. There's no doubt about it, and Logan's one of them. And it is nice to see them keep him because, like you said, here at the Coyotes, they probably would have traded him, like they did Domi and all the other guys over the years that are producing other places. So, good for the best owner in sports.
There's a reason they moved, Steven. There's a reason they moved.
Because they wanted to hide from half their fan base. Is that the reason? They're at the Delta Center. It's not. I don't think it's called the Delta Center anymore, is it?
I don't think so.
No, that is good news for the Mammoth. I like it. I like to see it. They got good
Leading
young
the
talent.
Metropolitan. I'm sorry, leading the Central.
As a
Division
Dale's getting into an area he knows nothing
of
about.
the Western Conference.
Yeah.
4-0 at home.
Mm-hmm.
That palace that they play in.
Well, hey, when half the crowd's oblivious to what's happening out there, on the other half of the eyes, you think things are going well. Even if things were going bad, they'd be like, "Woo!"
How about the Colorado Avalanche? They've played 6 games. 4 of them are a tie.
Yeah, they've been unable to put some of those winners away for them. McKinnon's looking good as usual there for Colorado.
All right, that's all my hockey.
No, you sure? You sure don't want to go more on that? Let me talk about my Vegas Knights,
Yeah.
the team that I have been a fan of since their inception. And people always go, "Why are you fans of Vegas?" Because my family's from there. My mom's side of the family's from there, and I know what the Raiders were a team that moved there. The A's are a team that are moving there. That was the first team that is homegrown there in Vegas, and people go, "You just like them because they win." No, I actually, before they even took the ice, I was a big fan of that because I know what it means to Vegas to have a home school, to have their first home team there. Kind of like the Phoenix Suns were back in the day.
Yep.
You know, they were the first one. Cardinals moved here. Then the Diamondbacks came along. That was the second one. And there's just a different pride when your team doesn't come from someplace else.
Yep, very
So,
true.
from that side, but I just want to say Vegas is better than all those teams. So.
And there are people, here's what a lot of people don't understand either, is that Vegas is not just the Strip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's a very transient city, much like Phoenix is, more so than Phoenix. People move there 6 months later, they realize it sucks, and they move out. But there's
outlying areas.
and there's a lot of people there that are locals from that area and stuff like that live and die by that city.
Right.
It's a lot like Phoenix when you get away from the Strip. Yeah.
And a lot of those people don't ever go to the Strip.
No. Like when I go up there and visit, I rarely go to the Strip unless I'm going there for a specific reason. No. And Henderson's a big area, which is just down from the Strip. So unless you're going to a concert or something,
Right.
you're not just people are like, I'd go to the Strip every night. No, you won't, because you'll be broke. People say that all the time.
Yeah.
From that side of
Well,
things.
it's like
but,
me when I was in Buffalo. There wasn't one person who didn't come visit me who didn't say, I want to go see Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't.
It's like,
That's like me with Disneyland. When I was a kid, I was at Disneyland so much that I refused to go to Disneyland for about 15 years of my life. Refused to. Then my sister had kids, and we did a family trip to California, and they want to go to Disneyland. I was like, I'll go. And then I saw the magic of Disneyland again with kids, right, and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. But that first time I got on that Pirates of the Caribbean ride, I was like the guy in the back, just like, why? It hasn't changed. You get tired of it. How many times have you seen Niagara Falls?
well, probably double-digit times, and it's like you see it for the first time. It's like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of water coming off a cliff. And
Yeah, then you're like, all right, let's go.
we did the one Made of the Mist tour.
Yeah, oh, you did. Did you wear the raincoat?
Oh, yeah. You have to.
I know they make you.
You
get
have
so
to.
wet,
And that was it. But, everybody, what else? What's there to do in Buffalo? Hey,
Yeah.
let's have some chicken wings and let's go to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, let's have some wings that now you can get anywhere else in the country.
Yeah. Very true.
Let's go to Canada. Go over to Canada. Geesh. But it's kind of funny, how people do that stuff out there. But no, you got to give props to the Mammoth, man. They are playing well. They're finally doing what they should have done these last several years, and that's be good. Now, we've seen that. Now, this is a record start for the Mammoth, even back to the Coyotes days. But we've seen them have good starts and then just the rest of the season. So there's nothing unusual about it. But, Josh Doan is up in Buffalo. He scored yesterday again. I watched some of that game. I saw him score early in that game. The NHL is a league littered with really good players that the Coyotes have jettisoned for money reasons over the years. And it's
Hard to watch.
it's what we do here in Phoenix, man. Get a young guy, grow him up, have good, and we go, oh, we don't like you anymore. Like, how many Diamondbacks have we seen? Max Scherzer? Got to get rid of that guy. Got to get rid of that guy. What's that old guy that hit the home run for the Dodgers? Not Bob Gibson. Detroit guy, and then hit the home run for the Kirk Gibson. Thank you. Come on to him. I just don't like the way he plays. He doesn't play my style of baseball. All right, then Max Scherzer goes and has a Hall of Fame career at someplace else. World Series the other night, pitching in the World Series here as an old man Scherzer. Yeah, we can't do that. It's weird how we do that here in Phoenix, and a lot of cities do it, but it's just we're kind of in touch with it here. So it is good to see the Mammoth keep Logan Cooley, because he is a special kid, and will be a special kid if he and he won't get the notoriety in Utah. Be clear about that. Like a Sidney Crosby and those guys, and I'm not putting him in that. I'm not putting him at that level yet. But he's not going to get notoriety. He's going to get buried in Utah. the avalanche, the snow is going to cover him up there in Utah. I don't know. I can't use avalanche because that's Colorado. Well, Dale, the hockey. We're going to do a segment with Dale's hockey updates every few days.
Anytime Utah does anything good, Steven.
What do they have? They have 16 points, right? Because last night. It was weird. Hockey last night, every team in the league played last night.
Really?
The NHL is doing something weird this year where, like, every team will play, and, like, the next night, like, 2 teams will play, and then, like, half the teams will play. It's weird how they're doing it this year. But, yeah, every team played. This is what's exciting. If you're not a hockey fan, something is happening this year that is different. 9+ goals were scored in 4 games last night. Because what's the complaint about hockey? Oh, they don't score enough. It's like soccer. First of all, it's not. But 9+ goals were scored in 4 games last night between the two teams, which means that lamp was getting lit a lot. So if you want scoring, it was fun to watch a lot of that stuff, right? And then 5 games needed extra time last night, overtime, in order to find a winner or a tie. I know that's going to upset some people there as well. So hockey's fun right now. Hockey's fun to see tonight, right now.
All right.
Give it a shot, Dale. Give it a shot. Max Domi scored last night. Josh Doan scored for Buffalo last night. Whew, fun times. Wrap up your hockey segment.
Congratulations, Utah. Continued success.
What else you got for us? I'm just curious what else you got for us today.
That's all I had. I figured you'd cover the rest, but I didn't think you'd cover the success of the Utah Mammoth.
There's no success. I can't see it. I can't see half of it. I told you, when I turn on the games on my television, half my screen goes blank. I can't figure out why.
You want to watch it like a real fan?
Yeah, exactly. Like the fan that pays, they do charge less for those seats, but it's still expensive.
Hang a towel over half your TV.
My TV automatically does it. It's weird. I don't understand what's happening from that side. Hey, NFL trade deadline's coming up.
Yep.
Tuesday. After Monday Night Football, Cardinals, Cowboys, and then trade deadline. We've seen more trades in the NFL than we've ever seen before in a long time lately. Last couple of years, this year, we've seen a lot of that stuff. Are we going to see a lot of trades this year, you think? I know there's a lot of clamoring in the media for it.
Yeah, and I think, again, that's more media fodder trying to, hey, what else are we writing about right now?
Fill some space.
Yeah. But, I mean, the Patriots traded away a couple guys yesterday.
Oh, my God. The Patriots are unloading everybody.
And they're 6-2.
They made a bunch of trades before this season also. Yeah. Yeah, they're doing well. That's what I don't get. It's weird.
Because usually the way it works is teams that are struggling have high-paid players. They become coveted, a little bit like baseball. But in football, that generally hasn't been the mode of operation.
It's hard to like Breece Hall. He's a popular name out there. Has been for a while. A lot of people wanted the Cardinals to call to get him when Connor went down and Trey Benson went down, etc. But it's not easy to play. It's not like baseball where a guy shows up and it's like, all right, just hit the ball. and then catch it when it
Right.
gets hit to you. You know, basic stuff. You have to come in and learn the blocking schemes. You have to come in and learn the play calls, all of that stuff. So it's hard to plug those guys in. Now, a guy like Trey Hendrickson might be a little easier to plug in. Hey, just a ball snap, you go get it.
Go chase
You know,
the ball. Yeah.
but like a wide receiver, like Jacoby Myers from the Raiders, Calvin Ridley from the Titans, Brees Hall are big names listed there. You know, David Njoku from the Browns is a tight end. Like that's good. Those guys can't just show up and be like, "I'm here, I'm going to dominate."
Well, you know, the thing is with
easily.
wide receivers, you can condense the playbook and just have certain routes for them.
Yeah, you have these
the
four
first week,
routes on
And
these
then
calls.
we can
You run this
expand
one.
as the season goes along. But, you know, again, I think when you sit there and look at the NFL right now and you look at the standings, you got New England who's leading the NFC East.
6-2.
And they've
Just like we
traded
all called
away
it,
a
Dale.
couple people. Usually,
Yeah.
when you're having success, you're trying to acquire people.
Yes.
That's what's weird about that. But, I mean, you could say the Jets,
Dolphins.
Titans,
Dolphins.
Dolphins,
Have a lot. Bradley Chubb.
the Saints are teams that definitively don't have a chance to play.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara is a big name to get unloaded. I saw yesterday him going to the Chiefs. I was like, the Chiefs can't do it, can they? The Chiefs can't get Alvin Kamara, can they, Dale?
Well, because here's the thing. To bring it locally, you're looking at Arizona. They're 2-5.
Mm-hmm.
They're not out of a playoff spot, but they're tinkering.
It's an uphill. Well, they just changed quarterback.
Yeah. And if
I'm sorry, it's not going to get better with time. It might get better in plays, but you're not all going on a 10-game winning streak with a rookie quarterback. I'm sorry.
you mean who?
The Saints?
Oh no, I was talking about bringing it closer to Arizona.
The Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals, and like you said, they play Monday night.
Yeah.
Does that change your mindset if you're Monty Austin-Ford? If you win in Dallas Monday night,
Like, let's add.
yeah, you're now 3-5.
That's what I'm disappointed about. Monty Austin has the space to add people the last couple of years for help, and he hasn't done it. Yeah, he's not going to do it this year. He's not this year on a bad year going to go, let's add some guys and get some help in here if he wasn't willing to do it the last year when they had a legitimate chance to make a playoff push, and he decided not to add anybody last year. Why would you add this year and not last year?
I wouldn't think that they'd be involved in it. In fact,
wouldn't.
I'd probably be more inclined to think that people might call them.
Yeah, well, I wonder because rumor has it on the street that Jerry Jones is calling everybody for defensive players. I know they said that he's talked to Cincinnati about Hendrickson. He's talked to a couple, Max Crosby from the Raiders, rebuffed on both of those. You know, is he calling them for a couple of, for Walter Nolan Jr. maybe Robinson?
Hey, we'll give you a late 7th.
My favorite part about this is I think we're going to see Walter Nolan the third this weekend. I think we're going to see him limited capacity, and the reason why is because all the media people that go out to practice for that open session are getting videos of him, and they're like, "Look at his explosiveness!" Totally selling it that how good he looks on the practice field, Dale. So I think we're going to see him this weekend now on Monday night, but I don't expect anything from him. Not in his first game. Maybe a flash here or there where he catches somebody off guard,
Right.
but he's not going to have one of those games where we're going to go, oh, he's our star now, especially since he's had 0 reps since June,
Yeah, he didn't get back to training camp, did he?
Oh, he was injured before that, yeah. Hurt his calf right as training camp was started, they said. So he was out at that point. So, yeah, it's just interesting with this trade deadline. You just sit here and look at all these people and, the names out there. And 49ers, obviously, they don't generally add at trade deadlines. But, with Fred Warner being out, Nick Bosa for the year, they're 5-3. They can make a run.
They're
Still,
sitting there 5-3, and they lost their 2 best
defensive
defensive
guys, yeah. In Fred Warner, the heart of that defense.
Yeah.
So do they give up some draft picks and kind of mortgage that future to make another run or two and see what happens? It'll be just interesting to see because I do think the 49ers are going to start going backwards because you can easily have a blip or stay where you are when injuries first start to happen. But especially early in the season, the longer those injuries continue to happen or don't get guys back, just more and more guys are going to get hurt as you go. So I don't think they'll do it. But it's just interesting after that game. Kyler Murray has a bad game Monday night. Do the Cardinals have the itchy trigger finger? maybe you can get Drake May for Kyler Murray right now.
You think?
How about that? Drake May, Daniels in Indianapolis, on the scrap heap.
Yep.
Different coaches. Boom. This is why I say Kyler Murray goes to the right team. And folks, we're going to be looking at a quarterback that's going to have a good career someplace else if he goes to the right team. At that point, that utilizes him. So brace yourself for that. Brace yourself.
Yeah, I don't think you could get anything of substance for Murray.
Yeah, you'd get a fourth-round draft pick, fifth-round draft pick. Yeah. Yeah, but you got to get something for him if you're going to lose him anyway. If he's not your guy, don't you at least look at it? I'm torn on this, and I've done some research. Nobody has this answer, or at least they're not telling me if they have it. Jonathan Gannon and Monty Osford are dead set. They have been dead set. Kyler Murray's our guy, period. Period. Hasn't wavered from it at all. So what I want to know is, because Bruce brought that up yesterday, and I've been thinking about it a couple weeks, is that coming from the owner, where they know the owner's like, nope, that's your guy no matter what? Or do they believe that they're their best chance to win? I find that hard to believe the way they play him out there.
Well, that's the thing. I think if you're convinced, you got to look at, okay, are they just saying this to say this? Mm-hmm. But if they believe it,
well, their actions say they believe it. Is my point.
If they believe it, you're not going to go to your offensive coordinator Petzing and say, "Hey, we need to become more Kyler friendly."
Yeah, that's my thing. They say the right stuff, they act the right stuff away for it, and then you watch the game plan and you're like, you don't like this guy.
Well, because this is how it works. Really, everywhere at any level, and kind of disappointed Mike's not going to be on today. Mike Sheehan.
Yep. Oh yeah. By the way, tomorrow for Mike Sheehan. Everybody. Okay. I don't know what time yet, but
okay. But Mike Sheehan, after watching the film from Friday night's loss, he didn't realize it in the middle of the game because he's got, as a head coach, he got a lot of stuff going on and whatever. But SAA only ran the ball 4 times.
Yeah, it was shockingly low amount.
4 times. And so, he said it's been addressed. Well, wouldn't you address that if you're Jonathan Gannon just sitting down Petzing and go, hey,
yeah,
I know you got something in your background to where you can work with a smaller, more athletic quarterback.
But he says publicly, I don't overrule him. That's his job. Doesn't mean you don't point him in the right direction. Yeah. But other than, well, we'll see on Monday night. Let me put it this way. We're going to learn a lot on Monday night.
And it's Monday night. Here's one of my greatest concerns, Steve.
Yep.
Is that Monday night they're going to come out and score 30 points.
Yeah, and win and dominate the game.
And whether they win or lose offensively, they'll score 30 points.
Because it's
and Tuesday, everybody, offense fixed. Well, if you look at every defensive category, if Dallas ain't last, they're close to last.
I think they're creating a new category for Dallas's defense right now.
It's crazy.
I agree with you on that thought as well, but we're going to see in the play calling and stuff. Does it go back to what it was before with Kyler Murray, or do they open it up a little bit like they did with Jacoby Brissett? Type of because they admitted they changed the play calling for Jacoby Brissett. They flat out admitted it. So do they go back to what it was before? I know Josh Weinfurst yesterday put out that in quotations, that they looked at things that were successful for Jacoby Brissett, and they said they went to Kyler about it. Now, what's Kyler comfortable with? What he's not comfortable with? Kyler's not comfortable sitting in the middle of the pocket like Jacoby Brissett is and finding the guy running across the middle. He would rather be outside. So roll him outside.
Right.
And they don't even do that for him. And it's just frustrating. Robert says, at TME Sports Show, you can tag us, 623-252-6670 on Twitter. Text us there. Woo. Or tag us on Twitter, at TME Sports Show. He says, coaches, tomorrow, you doing the show from jail? I put the post out this morning. Jail was canceled. They said they don't want me anymore. Yeah, they moved my court date. It's now the Thanksgiving week. So maybe I spend Thanksgiving in jail, Dale.
Okay.
Maybe I spend Thanksgiving in jail that week.
Well, maybe you get out of spending time with your family. You told me you don't like him that much.
My
anyway.
mom's having shoulders, like reconstructive shoulder surgery,
Ooh.
early November. So there's going to probably be no big family Thanksgiving this year. Everybody's going to be on their own, I think, because nobody's going to. Yeah, it's reconstructive. So this is a big deal, and it's at the beginning of November. So she's going to be out of commission.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving time, my dad's going to have to be helping her and stuff like that. So we're probably not having a big Thanksgiving this year, Dale.
Well, good
Cracker
luck to
Barrel, here I come. Book it now. Get ready, Cracker Barrel.
You could order it from Safeway or something.
Yeah, or Cracker Barrel. I'm not going to go eat it at Cracker Barrel, but I'll go pick it up.
Oh.
I'm not going to sit there and eat it there. I don't know who has the
By
kids this
yourself.
year and stuff. Yeah, it's in the corner, and everybody's feeling sorry for me. Meanwhile, I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Wow.
So there is a show tomorrow, folks. Coming in to do it tomorrow and everything. So Coach, school has him doing something today. He had to be at school today, I should say. I should phrase it differently. So he's not able to make it on today during our showtime. So he just moved it till tomorrow. And then Lou on Friday this week as well. So sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I've disappointed you. Well, let me put it this way. I said it in the post. I'm not ruling out there isn't a jail show tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen later on today.
You might get
I'm just
mad
saying the
at somebody.
options are slimmer now because I'm not in court tomorrow. So that's all I'm saying.
Somebody shorts you some shredded beef on your taco. Today.
Yeah, and I just lose my mind. And I'm just saying, odds are slimmer, but I'm not going to completely rule it out. That's all I'm saying. Robert just gave me an idea for tomorrow. I need to find an orange jumpsuit and then just come in and do the show in an orange jumpsuit tomorrow. Where can I get one? It's Halloween time. I won't be able to rent one of those. Aren't they all taken by now and everything? Yeah. So that's the update there. So we're doing that and everything. So hey, welcome to the new show. I feel like I've let people down, Dale, because I'm not. There's no chance of jail tomorrow for a civil matter.
Well, maybe
over
people were
houses.
looking forward to that.
I know. Well, they were. Robert, Braxton, a couple other people were all like, "Oh my God, that's so funny," and I was like, "I might not be kidding." It's a civil thing. Like I said, it's a civil thing for how I got to explain this now because people are going to be like, what? How much trouble's he in? I had a tenant that messed up on a house and was being a jerk about it, and the city didn't like it. And because I have an LLC that owns the house, I get dragged into it because the owner gets in trouble. Probably shouldn't say too much after that.
Yeah.
City Mason's probably watching this, and they're going to be like, look what he said online. So I might spend Thanksgiving in jail instead. Do you think they get Netflix or Prime Video for me to watch football that weekend?
The question is, who would you call to bail you out?
Oh, my dad.
What did your dad say? I'm tending to your mom, Steve.
You?
And then when I say I'm busy, Steve,
Yeah, he'd be like, oh, I've got all the family over and everything. And you made Graham Tate go to that wrestling event. Now he just wants to watch wrestling all the time. So stay there, click.
Will you accept a collect call from county jail? Nope. Click.
You accept that and then just be like, I can't. Who is this? I can't hear you. What? Oh, but if I said I was Scotty in jail, you'd be like, I'm on my way.
Oh, son-in-law. That's my husband's wife. My wife's husband. No, my daughter's husband.
Hey, save that part right there, Kobe. Mark it. Aiden Hutchinson, breaking news right now, is signing a 4-year, $180 million extension, $141 million injury guarantee. He's signed through 2030 now. Now, I questioned this the other day. T.J. Watt, although he is having success this year for the Steelers, he's getting paid to do a lot more than just have 8 tackles or whatever he had the other night, sacks, etc. Aiden Hutchinson coming off of that broken shin bone, all of that stuff, man, that's a lot of money to invest in these guys, man.
It is, and I guess that he's making more than T.J. Watt, not quite as much as Micah Parsons.
Yeah, just below Parsons.
Yeah.
50 million, low 50 million range there, right? If my math is correct.
I think let's see here. Micah Parsons is the highest paid at 46.5.
Oh, I thought Micah was 51.
This is according to Ian Rappaport.
Okay. Well, I'll trust them, their math skills over mine.
4-year, $180 million deal.
141 million guaranteed. If he gets injured this weekend and can never play the game of football again, he's walking away with $141 million.
Well, you kind of wonder. You look at Detroit. Here's a contract very recently done by them. Mm-hmm. The Hutchinson deal. Jared Goff, 4 years, $212 million.
That's just, you have to pay a starting quarterback that price.
Amon St. Brown, 4 years, $120 million.
Mm-hmm.
Panay Sewell, 4 years, $112 million. He's a tackle. Dominant. Jameson Williams, 3 years, $80 million.
Is he a defensive guy?
He's a wide receiver.
Oh, Williams? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Kirby Joseph, 4 years, $85 million. I don't even know what position he plays. Aleem McNeil, 4 years, $97 million. And Taylor Decker, the other offensive tackle, 3 years, $60 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
For a team that generally never spent like this.
Yep.
They spent it on their receivers in the past.
Well, it's kind of shooting your. Didn't the Lions just? No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Indianapolis.
You got to keep your quarterback clean, especially Goff, because he needs that to perform well.
Right.
And you need good offense, but you're sacrificing your defensive side. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, that's fine. You can pay him as much as you want. He's an absolute talent on that side, but if you can't pay anybody else on that defensive side, it ain't gonna matter. What Aiden Hutchinson can do, from that side of things there. But yeah, that's a lot. The thing that shocks me the most is the injury guarantee.
Yep.
It seems like that tells me last year they were like, oh man, my career could end. Just me making a play and my career could end, or I could have a serious injury again. Then you get cut, you don't get paid, all that. So 141, 40 million of that is not injury guaranteed. That's crazy talk.
But see, here's how I could see those talks going. Hey, I want to be the highest paid guy. I want 1 penny more than Micah Parsons. Okay, well, let's start talking about that. How about we knock you down about $5 million per year? You'll be the second highest paid guy, but we'll guarantee this much against injury. And you sit there and think about it and go, yeah, I'm really one snap away from maybe not playing again.
Yeah, that was a nasty injury.
But he might play the next 8 years and not have anything happen to him. You just don't know.
Yeah, that was a freak accident last year. Absolutely, it's just wow. It's just that just shock. Because that goes against the cap. Regardless, if he did end his career like this weekend, hopefully not. The Lions would eventually get insurance coverage for it and get paid back for it. But it goes against the cap is the big question. But that also tells me the Lions are in win now mode. They're not thinking about 4 years from now,
right? 5
years from now, and what the cap implications are going to be, and something to that effect as well. But yeah, that's good for them. That's all I'm going to say. It is nice. Michael Bidwell, take note. Stingy old franchises owned by families can't open their wallets every once in a while.
Yeah, who are you going to extend? Let's see. You're gonna extend Darius Robinson? No, you're gonna
Walter Nolan. No, you're gonna do what you always do. You're gonna extend Gannon, and then fire him a year later, like they did with Cliff Kingsbury.
Wow.
You're gonna extend the GM and then fire him a year later, just like you did with Steve Keim. Yeah, absolutely. And you're gonna give the bigger, you're gonna pay all these big guys a ton of money to not perform. From that side, yeah. Are you saying we don't have an Aiden Hutchinson on our team on the Cardinals?
Not that I've seen yet. I mean, I know they paid Josh Sweat.
He's but he's I haven't looked at the all 22. I haven't paid attention to it. I haven't looked at it that well. Maybe I'll check out Pro Football Focus, but I imagine Sweat's getting double teamed, chipped, and stuff like that when nobody else can get even close to the quarterback, right?
Well, really, the only one who's had any success other than Sweat is the big boy.
Calais. And that is true. He does come off the line there. Usually, it's funny too when he's standing up at the line. Every once in a while, he's standing up and he just towers over everybody. Woo-wee. I did look up Calais Campbell's snaps over the weekend, and I forgot where I wrote it down at because I was wondering if he was playing an abnormal amount compared to what they said he wanted him out. Because he was tired at the end of games and things to that effect. So that's the NFL news out there as well happening. And then, well, let's just keep it rolling here. When we come back, keep it going. No Coach Sheehan today. If you missed that announcement earlier, we'll be on tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. Maybe it'll be with Dale. Maybe it won't. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to Dale. Maybe he's embarrassed of Dale.
I'm embarrassed of him.
Possible. So he's tomorrow. Lou on Friday this week as well. So we'll keep the show rolling here. Come on back. The main event. We're getting to the point of NFL signing guys where you're going to be paying 3 guys on your team and then everybody else is going to be at the minimum. Your quarterback, high-powered receiver at 30-something million a year. Your quarterback at $50-60 million a year. Receiver at 36, and now defensive lineman at 45, 46. Edge rushers is what we're getting to. You're gonna wrap up $200 million into 3 positions to have success. That's wow. Everybody else is just gonna make minimum. Here's your minimum contract, guys. We can't afford you.
Well, somehow Detroit's doing it.
Yeah, but now when you do it early, you play those games, right? 4 years, but then you speed up the guarantees, you slow the guarantees down, stuff to that effect, to make it happen. But yeah, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's $141 million. Micah Parsons, the $136. Some caveats to that. Micah's actually the bigger paid guy per year because of that 5th-year option. Myles Garrett, don't forget about him, just signed $123 million. Nick Bosa's $122. That's just on the defensive side of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting – and then T.J. Watt, he was $150 million or whatever he was over a bunch of years. Yeah, so we're getting to the point where it used to be people complained only about their quarterback price.
Well, and still, you look at it, the pass rushers getting paid double what the wide receivers are getting paid, the elite.
Yeah. What I'm impressed with is just the years. You see a $180 million deal, normally you would see that as a 5, 6, 7-year deal. All the money would be front-loaded, and that's where you get a 4-year deal, $180 million. That's manageable. Even if the Lions fall off in year 3 of that, you only got another year, with those guys. Amon St. Ra, he's a 4-year deal. Jared Goff was a 4-year deal. So you can get out of these contracts early. I think where you get into trouble is when you get into those 7, 8-year deals with guys.
Well, the thing is, you do that if you're wanting to spread out that signing bonus to alleviate salary cap stress. But at some point, it's like a credit card. At some point, it comes due.
Yes.
And obviously,
that's what Jerry says.
Yeah.
Jerry. It's fascinating to see the money being spread. I don't ever want to hear NFL owners go, "We're poor. We can't afford stuff." They're like, it's like the WNBA, or not the WNBA. Yeah, it's the WNBA. Valuations are through the roof, and everybody's like, "We can't afford to do anything." It's like,
since 2024, the Lions have signed those players that we named to extensions with a combined total value of more than $940 million.
And they're all wrapped up to 2028 to 2030. So their cores together, and dare I say this, that's probably the extent of this run of Detroit. They probably only have 2 to 3 more years of this group being good together before they'll have to start getting rid of some of these big name guys.
Well,
and the contracts are expiring at that point.
And maybe they're trying to, they're looking at the quarterback and saying he's got 2-3 more years left in him, Jared Goff, and then we're going to have to restart this whole thing over again.
Yeah, exactly. So I do like that they're doing that. I will say I like that side. Not that Hutchinson won't have another 8-9 year career. Or some of those guys won't, but I think that might be where they're looking at it at, which a lot of teams don't look at it that way. Hey, I'm going to give you a 10-year deal. I don't understand why anybody signs anybody for that length in any sport. It's just going to come back to haunt you because we all get old at some point and break down from that side. So, yeah. So that breaking right now from that side. And then there's the Cardinals, Dale. Just signing everybody left and right, and it's just adding talent to this roster when it's needed and re-signing the guys you need to.
Hey, how did you tweet 10 minutes ago? We're on the air.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How'd you tweet 10 minutes ago?
I have a mole that tweets it. It was just eyeballs.
You weren't paying attention to me? You're tweeting?
I was like, Dale's talking. Time to look at something else.
I don't like to listen to what he has to say anyway. Were we talking Utah Mammoth hockey when you said
the eyeballs? It was the eyeball one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was right as that broke.
Well, was there more than one?
No, that was that one.
All right, I just stopped paying attention to you.
Dude, we've had this whole conversation. I've heard every word you've said. What are you talking about? Dale just learned what I do during the show, folks. Now he's insulted.
Yeah.
Robert says it'll be interesting to see what the Lions do with Gibbs. Absolutely, because they need that two-headed running game. I just don't in Detroit. On a side note, I look at the Detroit Lions like in reference to the Cardinals, but other NFL teams, and I go, build your team like that. The two running backs that are just, like the old Lightning and Thunder back in the day with the Giants, right? And to that effect. Just have two running backs. One does something special. The other one does the other thing special. Just hand the ball off to him, get in line there going, and just build your team that way. Nobody else wants to build their team that way. The Chargers do with Harbaugh.
No.
The Lions do with him. And I just sit there and go, what are the Cardinals doing? Building it around wide receivers and all of that stuff.
That I was just reading about, the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, they're doing that too. Denver Broncos have no problem scoring 9 points in a game and beating you.
Yeah.
They're building it around the defense, which they've always been strong at.
But
then they don't. They take the pressure off of Bo Nix, and with that running game and everything. Yeah, and I don't get why more teams don't build that way.
Right.
It's successful. It's successful. You don't necessarily win a Super Bowl with it, but you can win a lot of games that way. And it's just like these coaches fight it all the time, and I don't understand why you fight it. Will you build around a passing game in today's NFL? Can it be flashy? Yes, the Bills have a lot of flash with that, But it's just I don't get it, man.
At the end of the day, though, you can talk about the lines and physicality and toughness and all those things, but you got to have a quarterback. You got to have a top 10 quarterback.
But I've watched Trent Dilfer win Super Bowls. I've seen.
Yeah, but you're talking about elite defense.
Yeah, you played that defense.
Yes. You're talking about defense that didn't allow a team to score a point for an entire month.
And you just needed one touchdown to Shannon Sharp running down the sideline. Is all you needed to win that deal.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's just I just don't get. That's why I was excited for the Cardinals this year and their defensive side. They've added talent to that defensive side. You know, because I do believe you win championships and playoff runs happen when you have a strong. You don't need a Ray Lewis type defense. You don't need the '86 Bears defense. You just need a tough, physical, deep defense, and you will go far in this league, regardless of what your offense. So, like you said, you do need a quarterback and some plays to be made, which Kyler Murray would perform in that situation. I believe he would be a good quarterback in that situation. Hand the ball off, throw it when you need to. And if you do turn it over, your defense is like, we got you, and they go out there and do it. So I am biased that way. I just don't understand why people don't do it. There's so many examples of success doing that. But you also have the success. So I guess it's easier to go the Chiefs method, where you don't have the dominating defense, but you have such a great. I think it's easier to have a great defense than it is to have a great offense in this league. What I think.
Usually, it's always been less expensive.
For the offense?
No.
For the defense?
When you go try and put together a defense.
You just need dogs back there that are just, because they're whites. Back in the day, what was that guy's name? McKinnon for the Cardinals, middle linebacker that led the league in tackles for like 4 years because he was just sideline to sideline. Wasn't the greatest linebacker on the planet. And it wasn't McKinnon. He does Cardinals post game now, or he did before. I forget his name. But he'd go sideline to sideline, led the lead in tackles as a defensive guy. No, he was a linebacker. I've drawn a blank right now. But you need those types of players and a few of them to get to that point. I just don't get it. But the money being spread around, Dale, and we're just sitting here going. And Cardinals. Then you got the Cardinals. Their big roster moves yesterday. They re-signed Hall, the defensive back, to the practice squad. Added Michael Carter back to the practice squad. I told you guys that was probably going to happen. They need roster space. That's what the Cardinals need. Walter Nolan is probably coming back this week. So they needed at least one spot. Garrett Wilson and B.J. Ola. I knew I was going to do this.
Ololari?
Yes, thank you. Their practice window has opened. Probably they have 3 weeks now before they have to be on the active roster, 21 days. I don't know if you'll see him before that, but that's why they need those roster spots. And it doesn't mean Michael Carter can't be elevated this weekend. Back up. It's just Michael Carter does a lot of stuff for the Cardinals. He must really like the system. Here. So that's what they're doing there. Walter Nolan might be coming back this week, but it's just like. We're watching the Lions make all this big stuff. We're watching all these other people. Cowboys, we're hearing rumors of them contacting teams, getting rebuffed, but contacting teams to try to improve their defense. And then the Cardinals are just like, well, we're getting Walter Nolan the third.
And Olajari.
Who hasn't played in, a year and a half?
What was this injury? Knee?
Did he blow out his knee? I don't know. Lack of football skill.
Wow. No,
in all seriousness, we just haven't seen him. Let me see here really quick. 23 NFL draft, 17 games in his rookie season, 4 sacks for him. Most by Cardinals rookies since 2016, by the way. Four sacks in that year. So August 2024, torn ACL. That's what it was, yeah. For him, so he's coming back from that, there. So you might have the dream matchup: Sweat, Robinson, Nolan the third, and pretty soon, BJ. Dream Cardinals, the Cardinals' dream future right there.
Say his last name.
BJ. The problem is I saw it. Now I can't. Ojulari. There we go.
There you go.
See, I can't look at it. It's like the UFC names. I can't look at them when I say them. The second you look at it, and it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So that's the update on your Cardinals. Hey, do you want to know how the Cardinals feel at practice, according to their coach, after the bye week? Let's check in. Jonathan Gannon on the feels after the bye week.
Rejuvenated and ready to go. They're ready to get on the grass. I think I know. So it'll be good. They're ready to go. They know the challenge that's ahead.
I don't know if he's trying to convince himself or us, Dale. Which one is he trying to convince mostly?
I think they're excited. No, I know they're excited.
He says it 7 times. Who's he trying to convince?
Get on the grass.
It's just, they're excited to get on the grass. You've been a guy that's been through bye weeks before. I'm sure it's different I'm sure it's welcome, but I'm also sure it probably is a little weird to not be there. But do you come back like, oh man, we got to come back from this 2-5 record and all that stuff when you come back onto the field after the bye week? Like, what's the mindset in this situation?
Well, usually you're refreshed. Obviously, you've been dinged up. You get away from it for a little bit. Mentally, you can get away from the whole thing, and because obviously this is not the start anybody expected them to be off to, especially the way they've lost the games.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it can definitely be a positive, and I think you are. You're kind of excited to get back out there. You get to go to Dallas, where everybody wants to play.
And sorry. I didn't mean to ruin that. Monday Night Football, where everybody watches it. Are they the only Monday Night Football game this week? Is the question. Remember last year they had a Monday Night Football game where they were like the late one that nobody wanted to watch, and they were on like a pay channel, and the other one was like on regular ESPN. But I don't know. It just that wasn't very convincing. That's part of my problem with Jonathan Gannon. Like, okay. You didn't convince me, pal. Not that that's his job, but where's his excitement after the bye week? That's what I would want to know.
Well, you wonder how much he gave the coaches a little time to get away too, or were you self-scouting?
I hope they probably watched Sunday's Cowboys game, but they had to take a day or two and just be like, check out, right? And just be like, all right, I'm going to Costco with the missus. I'm going to go live a normal life for a day or two. So maybe Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday you're watching the Cowboys game, and then, all right, let's get going, Sunday. But I hope to God they took a couple days off and looked around the league. Because I equate it to this. I equate it to a quarterback that gets benched or a quarterback that gets hurt. They learn something on the sideline watching their backup play. Because they're not in the heat of the moment, and they see what they're doing. They're able to talk to them and things to that. You can learn a lot sitting down and watching even that Cowboys game against the Broncos. You could have learned a lot in that game watching that offensive, thing from the Broncos. What plays are they doing? What are other teams doing in terms of their play calling? Because I don't know. You answer this. When you're watching film and coaches are paying attention to film, they're watching, what the other teams are doing with their sets and everything. But do coaches go, that's a play that maybe we should implore using here? Do coaches do that?
I think people, coaches,
right?
I think coaches are always stealing from other coaches.
Right. In the middle of a season like that, they
But
do
as
that.
a player, you're not watching a scheme for the most part, maybe defensively, but from the offensive standpoint, you're watching the guy across from you. You're trying to pick up every little nuance you can of him.
When he's rushing, right? Leans forward.
You're not necessarily looking at safeties and cornerbacks and all that, but every position has a different element to that. But I have a feeling that obviously, I think if you're doing your due diligence, the Cardinals are self-scouting. Do we have any tendencies? What can we do to open up this offense?
So the actual coaching staff does that? Because I would think you'd want a whole separate people looking at that stuff because it's fresh eyes.
Yeah, usually it's the coaching staff. You'll bring in maybe your scouts come off the road for a week, and you all sit in a room and everybody kind of shares what they're doing, and then Jonathan Gannon gets up and goes, all right, we'll keep doing the same thing we're doing.
It's working so well. Let's just hey, we're all excited to go touch grass. Everybody go touch grass because we're all excited to go touch it. Everybody go touch it. Was there not grass where they all went on vacation to? Like, did they avoid the grass where they went out there? I don't know. It's just unemotional coaches just don't do it for me, man. They just don't. Dale. Find me, but there's too emotional. I'm to this day. Dan Campbell's a heck of a head coach, but he takes that emotion to a whole nother level where I can't stand it when you go that far.
Well, and that's the thing. So many people thought that he was a circus act when he started.
Yeah, I said that repeatedly.
And then all of a
we're
sudden,
gonna bite knees.
And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden you sit there and go, oh, well, he's winning 12, 13, 14 games a year.
But he takes it too far at times, So you need to be even keel, but also emotional. When was the last time you saw Jonathan? Well, besides him attacking D. Macari. When was the last time you saw Jonathan Gannon get excited? Like, I watched Kenny Dillingham in that Houston game lose his mind on that sideline on officials, on those bad calls and stuff like that effect. You like to see the mixture of them. Jonathan Gannon just stands there with his arms crossed.
I think you, Steve, can find wrong in everybody.
Except for me.
He's perfect. He's too emotional. He's not emotional enough. I like what he did, but I don't like with this.
Am I wrong? What success are the Cardinals having with an unemotional coach?
Well, who's their last emotional coach?
Bruce Arians. Oh, that dude was emotional on that sideline like you wouldn't believe.
But what did he have?
Ken Whisenhunt? Not emotional. Kind of a stick in the mud. Not kind of. A giant stick in the mud, Ken Whisenhunt was.
Well, what did the first guy? Bruce Arians. What did he have?
Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
But he was that way in Tampa. He was that way in Indianapolis when he was interim head coach. Yeah. He was the polar opposite of the guy he took over in Indianapolis when he had the cancer and had to leave the team. I completely forgot his name. He was that way in Indianapolis. He was the polar opposite of the head coach in Indianapolis.
Who did he have a quarterback then?
And that I'm not going to say. And they had success in Indianapolis.
And then he went to Tampa Bay. Who did he get a quarterback there?
Are you saying the emotion? You have to have a quarterback for the emotion?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't think emotion alone is going to make it.
No, I'm definitely not saying that. Because there's some emotional coaches that are just pure. Bob Stoops down in Arizona. That guy was an emotional basket case.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying, though. There's a fine line from being non-emotional and being too emotional. Those are both detrimental. You have to have that fine line of going in and out of that thing. That's what I'm saying. You need to be medicated at times. Come on back, guys. Second hour main event. Coming up next. Maybe. And we're back here, second hour, having some fun here on this Wednesday. No possible jail show tomorrow. Well, odds are diminished. There will be a show here tomorrow like normal, except for no Coach Sheehan today. He will join us tomorrow. And then Uncle Lou is joining us on Friday because they'd moved their schedule around and stuff because of the possibility of that court thing I had. That's been moved. And so we will have the show tomorrow. schedule changes here with those guys. So come on and join us tomorrow, of course, with Mike Sheehan, and then Friday with Uncle Lou out there. And I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hillestray, everybody. Silence after that. We need some applause or something.
Well, I just pulled up the story on ESPN that, I think we all had a gentleman's agreement in Dallas when everything started breaking up. Is there's going to be no books written about this?
Yeah, nobody's the locker room stuff stays.
Stays in the locker room, and I just saw this on ESPN right below Michael Jordan calling out people for load management, which we get into.
Yeah, we'll get that with the NFL side or NBA side.
Phil Jackson, the reason he left the Knicks was an unfixable Carmelo Anthony relationship.
I think it's worse when a head coach airs the dirty laundry than a player does. I think it's worse when a coach does it.
Right.
Because the coach knows things about those players and relationships and stuff that they can do serious damage. Players sometimes have misconceptions. Players sometimes don't like each other as they're playing with each other, and that doesn't work out. Players doing it, I think, are bad enough. But when coaches do it, it's like if Coach Bud ever came out and said what happened in that Suns locker room, because it looks like you're defending yourself. It looks like you're throwing the team under the bus.
Right.
And I think when coaches do it, it's way worse. And Phil Jackson, hey, look, he's getting older. Might not all be there in the head, unfortunately, as he's taking a lot of, his body's taken a lot of abuse over the years and, playing basketball and things to that effect. But I just don't like it when coaches do it.
Yeah.
It bothers me. And he's not wrong. I think we all knew that, though. But doesn't it just look like, I don't know if you read it all, but doesn't it just look like Phil Jackson's like, well, it didn't work out in the Knicks because of Carmelo? I would have had success here, but that guy thought he knew everything. It's just a bad look in my eyes. Just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I'm just glancing at it, and I forget the timeline. I mean, it's back in 2017.
Yeah.
Evidently, Jackson left.
I'm not shocked that Carmelo was a hard guy to coach. I'm just not shocked by that.
Yeah.
The ball stopper Carmelo. Yeah, and then you got Jordan. I mean, so then you do have a player. Now he's not calling out specific teammates and and things to that effect, but the NBA being back on NBC is probably the single greatest thing since the TNT studio show, in my opinion, because they got Michael Jordan and he's opening up here with these openings. He's opening up with these interviews, unlike before. That documentary we watched during COVID on Netflix, that was controlled by Jordan. NBC's just like he's out there talking and everything, and he did his second installment of that series there on NBC, MJ Insights to Excellence. First of all, seriously, come up with a different title. How much marketing money went into that?
Well, to speaking of that real quick, when that documentary came out, the 10. Thing,
I don't remember what it was called.
On Netflix. Yeah, it's just slipping my mind. Yeah. But that came out during COVID. Yeah. It was like the perfect storm.
Yeah, so we got all that and Tiger King. We all had to watch it because we had nothing.
You know what? I'm proud to announce, Stephen.
I've never seen an episode of Tiger King.
I never saw an episode.
Anyway, I refuse to watch it. I refuse to give hillbillies that type of spotlight.
Right.
Anybody that goes, what do you mean I can't have a tiger zoo? It's just somebody I don't want to watch. But yeah, and it was a fascinating thing to watch, right, and everything. But in this interview, Mike Tirico asked him what he thought of load management out there. Oh. And Michael Jordan let his feelings be known. I don't think this will be a surprise to anybody, but he said, well, I shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. I never wanted to miss a game because of an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress my guy way up on the top who probably worked his butt off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket. If you don't know this about Michael Jordan, you always saw him in public in nice suits.
Yep.
You never saw him in public in anything else. And he did that no matter what because he was like, this might be the only time the fan's going to see me. And I want to give them the impression, that they expect to have of me out there. I think it's I'm not saying you live your life for other people and stuff to that effect, but it doesn't it feel, especially, and I'm not going to just say basketball, but a lot of other sports, doesn't it just feel that the athletes are entitled and like, I don't need to deal with my fans. I make a ton of money and whatever. They come to see me play, and
Well,
I'll play if I want to. It's a disgusting feeling.
You know what's interesting? I'm reading this one quote, and I can envision my dad. Okay, so this quote is, I was going to find a way to get out there, even if I was a decoy. Well, once I got out there, you never know. Pushing yourself, you never know what happens, right? Next thing you know, the emotion, the situation, the need of the team, all those things catapult me to, I'm going to gut this thing out.
You get the juices flowing,
yeah.
right? The competitive juices.
My
going.
dad used to, he retired. He's passed away in 98, but he retired from the post office with over a year and a half of sick pay. Did not call in sick for over 40 years.
She got paid for a year and a half.
They didn't compensate him all the way, but most of the way. We at that moment, at that time, I was like, well, Dad, just say you're retired on January 1st and call in sick till July 1st.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, that's not the right way to do things, Dale. But anyway, he used to always tell me, and it got embedded into me, he said, Dale, there's many times I got up, whether I had the flu or it didn't feel good or tired, whatever, but he'd always ride his bike to the post office. Probably about a 5-6 mile ride. He said 98% of the time, by the time I got to the post office, I was feeling better. And then went through the day and I felt better.
I do that too, yeah.
Or I can lay in bed
and
feel sorry for myself.
Be miserable.
Yeah,
all day.
and you're miserable. And so
that's my opinion on that too, yeah. But I mean, it's the point of it. Athletes back in the day, yes, they know who they are. They're not lost on that, but and I'm not saying not every athlete, because you see athletes all the time take if you watch Hard Knocks this year, Josh Allen, man, he would walk over and sign every autograph for everybody there because that was their opportunity to meet him, and he knows his position. He could have, I got to go, guys. No, he was like, I don't care. Everybody can wait for me. They're not starting meetings without Josh Allen. They're not going to get mad at him if he's late, if he's signing stuff, right? And things. I just think that, that's what hit me watching that last night was I was just like, man, that's an attitude I think. It's not everybody, but that's an attitude that's missing with a lot of NBA superstars, let alone other sports out there as well. It's not these people came to watch us play our game, win this game, and all that stuff. It's, I'm here to do this, and I'm just going to do my thing and then go live my life someplace else. Because it was cheaper back then to go to a Michael Jordan game and watch it.
But it's still expensive for the time.
But now it's even more expensive.
You know.
And to have that attitude, it is kind of a turnoff with these guys as well. That's why I have to say they're nothing more than entertainers today.
You know, it's interesting because I've shared when I give talks and things like that. I've shared my dad's philosophy that got passed down to me. There were times in high school and I'm sure in college where I had the flu or whatever, but in high school to play that night, you had to go to like at least 4 classes.
Yeah.
And so you'd suck it up to get to those 4 classes so you'd be eligible to play. And I was telling this story one time, and this lady came up to me and said, so you lined up across from a guy knowing you had the flu, and
that's the new attitude.
And you could have passed it on to him.
That's the new attitude.
I could give one rip about the guy lined up across from me.
My parents used to be like, "You only have 101 fever. Get to school, wuss."
You won't go into convulsions till 104. You're fine.
Nowadays, a kid has a cough and it's like, "God, stay home." Yeah, No, see, but that's a difference between elementary school, junior high, and playing, varsity high school football, college football, NFL football. That's different than just going to going to your regular classes if you're not feeling well and stuff to that effect. It's interesting to look back into, remember when Scottie Pippen refused to go into that game because he wasn't getting the ball.
He wasn't the main option.
They were giving it to Kukoc instead, and he was like, "I'm not going in. I'm not going to." Remember the uproar on that? Nowadays, it's just like, Well, I mean, Marte's the perfect example here.
Yep.
Half of the fan base went, who cares if Marte doesn't want to play today? It's like, what?
His house gets broken into. I'm going to go to the Dominican.
half the fan base was like, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting looking back into what it used to be out there. Now, it wasn't all perfect. It wasn't, get off my lawn type of a thing. But I say it all the time. The pitcher, we saw that with Scherzer, and I made a big deal about it. His coach was coming out to talk to him, and he's like, "You're not taking me out. You're not fight to be taken out if you still think you got it. Fight to be out there. Don't just give in." And there's that whole element is missing now around sports. So it's interesting to go back and see that dynamic there with this side of it. Now, on the other side, Robert says, let me know when they air the episode where he goes into the whole baseball thing and the background surrounding it. You mean when the NBA said, take some time off, Tiger. call this guy, and you'll have a baseball career for a couple years so you can come back from your gambling that you're doing. Good old Jordan gambling stories back. Could you imagine if there was social media now with that? Dennis Rodman was the same way. He'd be in Vegas, fly back, suit up, and go play in a game, half drunk with Carmen Electra still on him. Her makeup goo to make her look nice underneath the lights.
What has Carmen Electra ever done to you?
Never returned my calls, Dale, obviously.
Back when you're
left numerous messages.
back when you're in first grade.
So Suns tonight, back on the mound, and big development.
No.
Back on the mound.
Back on the court, Steven.
Back on the court. Well, that's because I brought up baseball. Now I'm thinking baseball. Back on the court tonight. Big development. Huge development, if you'll allow it to say that. Well, Dylan Brooks is out. Right groin soreness still. A soreness for Dylan Brooks, so he will be out tonight. But Jalen Green, questionable. Upgraded to questionable. If you see him, it's not going to be a lot. Probably very monitored minutes out there. But Jalen Green, we might see him in a Suns uniform on the court tonight for the first time ever.
As a Sun.
As a Sun, I should say, yeah. Good point. You excited about that?
I think I will be excited if, in fact, it does happen. Questionable to me still means...
But it's a huge upgrade because he was out before. Yeah. No questionable. And to go from out to questionable tells you he's really close to getting back out there.
Playing the Memphis Grizzlies, my mind just goes so many different directions when I think about the Suns team. You watch the first game, and I'm excited, and they're running around hustling and coming back and doing all those things. And in the last two games, or last three games actually,
yeah. I was, and I'll give props to Vinny and what's his name, Bickley this morning because I listened to them a little bit coming in. Yeah. So I'm gonna give them props because they kind of thought me on this side. A lot of thoughts like you on how disappointed you are in this team.
Right.
And they brought up maybe it's the way they start these games. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't tune into that Jazz game till halftime, not because I wanted to. I just knew it was going to be another bad start. Why am I going to invest when I have Monday Night Football, when I have the World Series? Uh-huh. Why am I going to invest in a team that's going to look like garbage for the first half? And I tuned in right after halftime when then they started making their run and stuff like that. So they brought that up this morning. Do you think that's a lot of that incarnate? Because it's like my ASU disappointment. ASU is exactly where I thought they would be this year, right now, at least in the season.
Right.
But the way they're playing is what's disappointing. Is that what's leading you to this? I instantly thought of you when they said that this morning. I was like, oh. So yes, I'm using their programming to give you a question. Is that where some of your disappointment is? Just the way they start the game, they have to fight back. And it's just giving you that bad vibe? Because if they started the game good and they were in the game the whole time, would you feel the same way?
Well, part of my mixed emotions is I thought when you get rid of Kevin Durant, we're done with the questionable, the drama. I don't know how much he's going to play. These are young kids. Yeah. These are young kids.
Jalen Green played all 82 games last year, and he shows up in a Suns uniform, injured.
Is it the Valley? Is it the uniform? Is it
The pitcher, Corbin Burns, same
Yes.
thing. Most dominant, most healthy pitcher on the planet shows up here. Tommy John surgery. it's the weirdest thing that happened.
And so there's all this confusion in my mind. Because, again, this year to me was I want to just see them play hard. I guess the other thing that strikes me that is kind of interesting is the defensive end. I thought they'd be a lot more aggressive. I thought they'd have more athleticism.
People make excuses for that early because they're like, oh, there's got to be more communication. That comes in time. Okay. But that doesn't explain the rim protection not being there, the open lane. Some of that has to do with lineups, too. Some of these lineups they're throwing out there are like, what are you doing? We can see it's not working.
Right.
Why do you have that lineup out there? Yeah, so I think it's everything. Because I mean, it is interesting to me because I feel the same way as you. I'm just like, this is disappointing.
Yep.
And I expect them to win 30-something games. I expected them to play hard all the time. I expected them to sneak out some wins that they're not supposed to win because that team might sit down and rest, speaking of load management, that team might sit down some players to play against the Suns, and then they're going to play hard to win it. But the way they're starting these games, what's with slow starting here in the Valley? Do people not realize what time the games start?
Maybe they should start them at 7:30 instead of 7:05.
Tell them they're starting early.
Yeah. You mean like my wife sometimes? Hey, what time are we leaving? 6:45.
Move everything up by 30 minutes. Seriously, that's where my disappointment is rooted with ASU, with the Cardinals even, now the Suns. It's why am I tuning in? Why am I investing my time in the first quarter, second quarter when you're just going to play like garbage?
Yeah.
I'll tune in when you are playing hard and you are doing what I expect from you.
Remember when you sit there and go, I said it last year. I said, if you don't care, then I don't care. But I can't see that being a thing that goes on throughout the season with this team. But through the first 4 games, it's reared its ugly head.
Yeah.
And so
Well, you hope it gets better, but have we seen the Suns team get better as the season goes?
I mean,
this one.
I mean, Mark Williams the other night played 30 minutes. He had 25 points and 10, 12 rebounds.
They extended him past his minutes. They're starting to give him more minutes
and
now.
so does that mean he's out tonight?
No, only the guys we mentioned are out tonight. Brooks is out tonight. Yeah, it's just I know it's just, and then that's the thing. And then you lost to the Jazz. Losing to the Clippers is one thing. Losing to the Nuggets is another thing because those are good high-scoring deals. By the way, Bradley Beal did not play last night, Dale, just so you know.
And I thought we were done with that. and now we got our guy here.
Green.
Not Green. Who's the guy they got from Houston?
Brooks.
Brooks.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks.
Now he's missing the second game.
Yeah, it's a groin injury.
Yeah.
What do you do, man? But he was playing hard when he pulled it. He was doing an abnormal. He was like a lineman that has to now run and tackle somebody who intercepts the ball, pulls all sorts of things because they're not used to moving that far. No, I know it's. I'm just surprised at how much disappointment there is, and I'll also say this: I think I'm noticing this, and I've kind of mentioned it with that ASU game last week. The expectations were so high. And we're just all being disappointed right now by our sports team that when something does go sideways, it's just, here we go again.
Of course.
And it's mounting on everybody. So, it's not fair to the Suns that we act this way, but we're going to because we've been disappointed by everybody else.
Until we're proven wrong. I've said it a couple times. I'll say it one last time. Probably not the last time. Going into last year, Phoenix Suns. Maybe not a championship team, but a top 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
With the big 3. Obviously disappointing. Then here come the Diamondbacks. Spend most money they've ever spent. They bring in the stud pitcher, Burns, and add some pieces, and disappointing.
Yeah.
And now
on vacation, literally.
And there we go. Cardinals and ASU football. Woo! We're finally here. It's the third year of the rebuilding project for the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Love the
it's-
coaching staff.
But it's the toughness that they're missing. They're not as tough as they were last year. That's where it's just like,
But for whatever the reason, and now ASU, you say you're where they were
record-wise.
record-wise, but it's been a topsy-turvy, weird season.
It's
with,
the lack of effort at times. The horrible start to the beginning of the game. If you're 5-3 and you fought your butt off for 4 quarters and the other team just beats you, that's different than what we're seeing with this ASU team.
right.
And that's the same thing with the Cardinals. Cool, it sucks. You lost 4 games in a row by last-second kicks. You were in the last game as well, and you just lost that way. But you didn't put 4 quarters worth of effort into the game. And it's like, then it's just like, God, what? If you guys aren't going to show up, why am I showing up to do
Right.
this? And that's where I think that's where my disappointment lays here. From
But
that
the other
side.
thing is, you get so beaten down by not met expectations. And now here we go again. Suns, who again, I don't expect them to win 55, 50, even 45 games. But I expect them to play hard. I expect them to play a lot of games. And yet here we go down that same exact road. And all you can do as a fan is go, here we go again.
Yeah, it's just. Well, I mean, they promised us, much like the Cardinals, they promised us, a more fun team. Is this team more fun than what we saw last year so far? I would argue no. Yeah. The coming back against the Kings was a lot of fun. The end of that fourth quarter with the Jazz was a lot of fun. Overtime was fun. The first 3 quarters weren't fun.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what is happening out there as well? Hey, by the way, since we're talking Suns, right? Let's check in with the rest of the NBA right now, Dale. Let's check in and see how the rest of the NBA is going today. Kobe, throw it up there.
Gather with the ball.
Watch that. That's just one dribble right there.
Here, how many steps? It's the gather.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Man, come on.
Okay.
Yeah, we could have played till we're 50.
I saw a side-by-side with that and a game from the 80s. And literally the guy took 2 steps and traveling was called.
Yeah, they called it. Yeah.
He literally went almost from half court to the basket with 1 dribble.
One dribble. Yeah, but he was gathering. They were gathering steps, Dale. They were gathering steps. Or as LeBron goes, it was a crab dribble. I hate the step back threes like James Harden perfected because you're dribbling it up and then you're taking this giant jump backwards, 4 feet to shoot an open 3. I hate that stuff, but I can understand why you let that slide. That is ridiculous that that's even allowed to happen in the NBA. It just they're not NBA's just isn't serious about with their sport, man. That's all I can say. They're just not serious about it. How many steps did he take?
Yeah.
I ran out of fingers
No,
counting them.
I mean, it was at least 6. I thought it was at least 6.
Kobe
with that
says
last
5.
little gather.
Yeah, I know.
Run it again. Let's count it, Kobe.
It's so bad. Well, it's in slow-mo, so it hurts it,
Yeah.
too.
Okay, so he takes a dribble right there.
so every step out. So
right
there's
now,
one.
no.
Oh,
one,
okay, that one? All right.
2, 3, 4, 5. Kobe's right.
5. Then he got the and one, too.
I mean, it's not even an optical illusion. It's in the middle of the court.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, there's video of LeBron who just has the ball. He'll just start walking
Yeah.
with it, and then he'll dribble after 6 steps. And the refs just the defensive teams are freaking out, hey, what are you doing? And the refs are like, oh, what are you talking about? It's just I don't know. Just if there's a league that's unserious and don't take it serious, it's the NBA, man. It's just with all the stuff surrounding it right now, it does kind of crack you up out there as well. So when we come back here, Dale.
We coming back here?
Well, we're coming back. Are you not coming back?
Well,
Are you leaving?
Are we coming back here?
Here, right here,
Okay.
on the main event. Let's get into college football stuff. I saw an interesting thing yesterday, and I verified it. It's true. Everybody's
Wow.
flipping out about Arizona State and their record and all of this stuff. And I brought it up yesterday on sustained success. What does it mean to ASU right now? Got some backup here for me on this thought and everything. And then, of course, we'll end the show talking some World Series tonight. Big game. Who's going to take the 3-2
Well, big
lead?
game last night. How about my Toronto Blue Jays?
You picked the Dodgers. Traitor. Come on back, folks. Main event. That's why Dale's been married for how many years, Dale?
37 wonderful weddedly bliss years.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, congratulations on that.
You don't sound happy for me, Steve.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Yeah?
Gosh darn it, I think you guys are going to make it.
You think so?
Odds are looking up for you two.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, she's a saint for putting up with you. Especially, I didn't know you in your football day, but holy cow, if you're like this now, I can only imagine what you were like in your football days.
Just lovable. Remember, Steve, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Not words that I would use. Probably reach for like the salt shaker together, and you probably wrestled her for the salt shaker. You're so competitive.
Me first.
Exactly. So we had that conversation with Bruce Cooper yesterday on sustained success. I want to be clear. I'm not saying 8 wins is acceptable with what they brought back and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm looking at it as a bigger picture thing. We don't get a lot of 8 wins plus seasons here at Arizona State, right? They win 8, 9, 10 one year, then they drop down to 4 or 5, et cetera, type of a thing. And then somebody put out there, a guy named Tom Fernelli. They put out a thing yesterday that I caught. CBS Sports, who he works for and stuff to that effect. Records in Big 12 Conference, obviously since last year, because that's when ASU, Arizona went into the league and stuff to that effect. BYU is number 1. They're 12-2. Did BYU go to the Big 12 championship game last year?
No.
Did BYU go to the playoffs last year? No. And they're 12-2 in Big 12 play. Who knocked them out of it last year? Your Sun Devils.
Okay.
Number 2, tied. Texas Tech, 10-4. Since last year.
Okay.
Who are they tied with, Dale? Your Arizona State Sun Devils, 10-4.
Okay.
Okay. Iowa State, 9-5. Iowa State's had expectations of winning this thing 2 years in a row now. They're 9-5. TCU's 9-5 as well. Then you got Baylor at 8-6, Cincinnati 8-6, Colorado 8-6. Kansas State, expectations to win the Big 12 these last 2 years. They're 8-7. Houston 7-7, Kansas 6-8, Utah 5-9. Now they had a terrible year last year. I get that. West Virginia 5-9, Arizona 4-10, UCF 3-10, and Oklahoma State 0-14. Congratulations, Oklahoma State.
Wow.
My point is this. If you can stay in the top of these types of rankings, You lose 3 games in a year. You lose 4 games in a year. That's going to happen. But you stay at 8, 9 plus wins for the next 4 or 5 years. What I mean by that is you stay at that level. That's your baseline, and you win 10. Every couple years. You get to the playoffs, the Big 12 championship. 2, 3 years. That's the sustained success at minimum that you need to see here at Arizona State. To expect them to win the Big 12 and go to the playoffs every year. Now, this year might be different expectation-wise because of who they brought back. But to expect that every year, it's just you cannot expect it. 1, in the Big 12, but then 2, Arizona State. Because it's just never happened before. How can you expect something that's never happened before, Dale?
Well, because we've used this argument with Arizona Diamondbacks. And they went to the World Series in 2023. It's 2025. And you say that World Series doesn't count, doesn't give them any leeway, doesn't matter. That's last year. Now it's 2 years ago. You don't care about it.
Well, I don't
But
care.
now you're going to compare ASU to Oklahoma State to make yourself feel better?
No, I just wanted to point out Arizona's 4-10. That's what I wanted to point out. No, see, that's the difference. It's in the context of it, right? Diamondbacks, why it's disappointing the World Series year, you have to admit they shouldn't have been in that World Series with the way they played that season, bullpen game, etc. And they got there. You got to give them their due. But then they got better and better.
Yep.
And then missed the playoffs both years. Arizona State, still good bowl game with 8, 9 wins. Trust me, 9 looks a lot better than 8 does in terms of this conversation.
Yeah.
But, if you don't make the Big 12 title game every year, but you're winning 8, 9 games every year, and you're just missing out because there's somebody better than you that you don't play, a la BYU. It's hard to be disappointed in that year.
Again,
what I'm arguing.
I think when you look at ASU this season, there was a combination brewing. Everybody's in love with the coaching staff. You brought back all your stars, and added to that. Except for you lost one guy, Cam Scatterboot. Obviously a huge loss, but still, you had plenty coming back. And then the way they've played.
That's the disappointment.
If they would have came out guns a-blazing in all their games and all that and played solid football, I don't think you look at 5-3 as the same way you look at it now.
That's my big thing is you're not going to have sustained success of 8+ wins a season as your baseline if you continue to play this way.
So you're saying 8 wins is the standard at ASU?
No. I'm saying 8 wins is the baseline.
Okay.
You should not ever dip down under 8 wins. Period. Moving forward. Period. You should always be 8 wins or better every year. What should their baseline be? 10? That's unrealistic. Their baseline 9? That's unrealistic. Every year with a Big 12?
Again, I don't know if there's – I understand there's going to be certain seasons where, hey, you know what? You didn't get the quarterback you wanted. Or, hey –
somebody gets hurt.
Whatever.
Sam Levitt gets hurt.
And I will adjust my expectations accordingly. I just think this year everything kind of was set up for them going in.
Yeah. So I want to be clear. I'm separating those two things. This year is absolutely 1,000% an absolute disgrace of a disappointment for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah.
No matter how they finish up. Because of the way they've played trying to get there. They should have been better than they were last year, and they're not. They're not even close. They've regressed a ton.
Right.
That is disappointing belief. But I'm looking at it as a program as a whole. So now take a step back from that disappointment. Take a step back. 8-win season after a 10-win, that hasn't happened in a long time around here. So you can have both sides of that argument. Because in the past, what would happen after last year? 4 wins,
Yeah.
3 wins. I'm sitting in Sun Devil Stadium by myself, whole section of myself, watching them lose again when they have all this talent and they should be winning. And it's not happening. So both things can be true is what my argument is. But I was surprised by that because even I was sitting there going, this team is awful. This team is terrible. This team's just so underperformed. And I go, oh, my God. They have the second best record over 2 years in the Big 12. That's saying something. I don't know. Just pointing that out there. You don't have to believe me.
No, because here's what I'm always fighting against. I think, again, getting beat down for whatever, 50 years since the Suns came to town. Just getting beat down year after year after year. As a fan, you start to say mediocrity is okay.
But
as long as we don't suck.
But is 8 wins mediocrity for Arizona State?
If you finish 8-5,
nightmare.
I just want us to adjust. Excuse me. I just want to adjust our thought process to bring in. We need to have higher expectations for all our teams here in the Valley.
So what expectation is the baseline for Arizona State if you do that? Because to me, raising it up to 8 is higher expectations. Because Dale, I sit in a lot of stadiums. I sit in a lot of Arizona State games over the year where they're fighting to get to 6 and be bowl eligible.
Well, they're not bowl eligible yet.
So this is my point. 8 is an improvement to this Arizona State squad for me because I've literally it's Arizona State, and the winner of that game goes to a bowl game, and the loser goes home. That's the crap I'm tired of.
Yeah.
From the longer perspective. Like I said, this year's utter disappointment with the way if they were 5-3 and fought 4 quarters, this would be a different feeling.
Yes.
But the way they've played, they should be better than they were last year. And if you lose 3 games because somebody beats you, fine, that just happens.
Right.
But they haven't played better than they did last year. Something has happened with them. So this year is an utter disgrace and a disappointment for the squad, period. But then to say 8 isn't good enough overall for the program, all right, now we're just kind of letting emotions get involved at that point. Because like I said, I swear to God, if there's one more year where it's, winner of the Territorial Cup gets to go to the El Paso Bowl, baby. Gets to go to the Kraft Hunger Bowl in San Francisco. Yeah, let's go. I can't wait for that. For the 9th year in a row, we're going to those ball games. Woo!
I did see a prediction where they're going to the Sun Bowl. So you
Did
can go,
you?
So
Did you really?
Yeah, you can go enjoy El Paso for
Go hit up
4
White
days.
Sands, New Mexico.
On your way.
Heck
for
yeah.
consequences in Mexico.
Go visit my alien friends up there in wherever, Alamogordo. Stupid names there are in New Mexico. What's wrong with New Mexico?
Don't go down that road. But and the other thing that it will drive me crazy is all this freaking nonsense of, oh no, Kenny Dillingham name's being mentioned. UCLA's showing interest.
I do like your stance on this.
Penn State's showing interest. What?
Could you imagine Penn State hiring Kenny Dillingham?
What drugs are you smoking?
Could you imagine LSU hiring Kenny Dillingham?
In a gazillion years, no.
Florida State might do it just because Florida State just doesn't.
No, they just didn't. They just fired it.
They make a lot of mistakes in Florida State hiring coaches.
But it wasn't, Norvell was here for a little bit.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I think you stay away from ASU.
And then he went where? Memphis and then back. Norvell would be one heck of an offensive coordinator for this team. I can tell you that. That would be an improvement. Offensive coordinator would be an improvement.
And by the way, I've always said this for 15 years doing this. Everybody's so afraid. I remember when Bobby Hurley was in his 2nd or 3rd year. Oh, no.
He might
the Duke opening or this opening. I'm like, guys, another thing the Valley's not prone to thinking is I want my coach to be wanted by people because guess what?
Yeah.
That means he's built your program.
It's different with Kenny, though, because He's from here. He's built it up. And Kenny, let's face it, Kenny's one of those coaches that you gravitate to.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Lane Kiffin isn't somebody you gravitate to.
He's an acquired taste. And guess what? When you're undefeated, that acquirement goes pretty quick.
He's going to be the interesting hire this year because he has giant expectations of winning and stuff like that. You're just not going to get there at Ole Miss like you will at LSU or at a Penn State type of position, with the money they throw behind their programs compared to Ole Miss. He's going to be interesting to – let's see if his ambitions or his smartness rules out there with that move for him. But that's the difference thing. Like when that was the talk about Dirk Cutter, I was never like, oh, we got to keep Dirk Cutter. Just because the guy you didn't gravitate to Dirk Cutter, right?
No.
Todd Graham he won, but he was a difficult dude to get along with and like and talk to and stuff like that. So I was never like, oh, Todd Graham, bummer, he's moving on or got fired or whatever. Kenny Dillingham, there's going to come a day where he's not here, and that even if no matter how bad it goes on this program, you're going to be disappointed that he's moving on because you're rooting for the guy.
Yes.
On a personal level. On top of it, part of that is his ties to Arizona State at the same time, But, I love your take on that because I agree with you. It's just, come on. If LSU had a press conference today saying Kenny Dillingham's their new head coach, Baton Rouge would have an uproar beyond belief from that side, right? Robert says, I'd rather have them talking about Dillingham than not talking about any ASU coach like it has been for the last 20-some-odd years.
And again, Dillingham's a special case. He's a guy who grew up here. He went there. He grew up loving ASU. So that's a special case, too. It's going to take a phenomenal opportunity. It's not going to be UCLA.
Again, people that say UCLA, I'm just like, do you guys not know? UCLA doesn't have money for their football program. Why would you go from ASU that he's built up to UCLA that has $0 for their football program? It's all pumped into their basketball program.
Right.
That's why their football program sucks. Why would you leave and go to that? Well, it's a bigger conference. Oh, okay. So great. Go over in your bigger conference.
Yeah.
Kind of what Jed Fish is kind of experiencing. That's the thing, Jed Fish to UCLA, which I will not lie, Jed Fish wanted UCLA at one time.
Okay.
But why would you go from Washington, unless you just know it's not working in Washington,
Right.
Why would you go from Washington to UCLA? You're going from bags of money to pennies at that point. Unless you know Washington's not working out. I should probably look at something else. Type of a situation, right? Then Kenny Dillingham yesterday, injury update for us. Let's listen to Kenny Dillingham talk about those injury updates for this weekend.
Still holding out. I mean, we'll reassess them probably on Thursday or Friday. So I would say questionable, but still not practicing for us. I don't want to say that yet. It's definitely something that's been lingering all year. So it's definitely something that could definitely turn into that. For sure, just because it hasn't progressed like we hoped. I mean, he's been dealing with this for pretty much the whole year. He hasn't been at full speed. So, we'll definitely reassess it during the bye and make a decision.
Positive, Jordan Tyson questionable.
Well, I speaking of your program that you're listening to on the way in here,
Oh, I'm like, what? Okay.
they also brought up another situation that I hadn't even thought about.
I didn't listen. I just listened to it for a few seconds before I went back to the other guys.
Thought about it.
Uh-oh. We need to quit listening to those guys.
Think about it. If you're Jordan Tyson and you're going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, sit out the rest of the year. No, that's crossed my mind.
Has that crossed his mind?
Sam
Levitt.
Especially when it's a hamstring tear like it was. I don't think Jordan Tyson's built that way.
No, we saw him.
He's a guy that played through it.
Yes.
Everybody else would have gone on the sideline and not finished that game.
Yes.
He had that one catch on the right-hand side where he caught it. That was a touchdown if he was healthy.
Right.
And he got caught because he couldn't go to full speed.
Right.
I don't think Jordan Tyson's built that way. Sam Levitt's a different case. He's not going. Sam Levitt's not going to the draft. He'd be stupid to leave early and go to be a 3rd or 4th round draft pick.
Right. And if that.
But does he come back? He was in a walking boot again yesterday.
No, but does he? So he doesn't go to the NFL, but
Does he transfer? Well, this is the other thing I want to bring up. Cam Dreyer, high level recruit from New Mexico, tore his ACL last year in a high school football game, championship football game in New Mexico. So he hasn't been on the staff or anything. Freshman this year, the future of Arizona State quarterbacking, by all accounts that you see out there. He's the second QB this weekend. He's been medically cleared to come back.
Really?
Freshman, the future of the team. Jeff
From New
Sims,
Mexico?
New Mexico. 2025 recruit.
Okay.
Huge recruit. People wanted him. He came to Arizona State. He's the future. If Jeff Sims struggles here and this offense doesn't move under Jeff Sims, do you go to the young freshman, throw him out there, see what he's got early? If he's a specialist, I'm not saying he's going to go and win you the game or anything like that, but do you throw him out there and see what he's got? He's quarterback too, Dale. He's with 0 playing time.
Right.
Coming off an ACL tear, gets medically cleared. You're quarterback too for a reason.
Why is that?
Are you Are you bringing up the quarterback too? He's cleared to play. These are your opportunities to play him with Levitt not being able to play, and it could be a multi-week injury for Sam Levitt.
Yes. There's no doubt about that.
Are you putting a freshman out there of, hey kid, you're our future. If Sam Levitt leaves, like they're floating over there, they have to make up their radio talking points. If Sam Levitt leaves, we got our guy of the future right behind him. And give us a taste of him this year.
I don't know.
I didn't think about Levitt leaving because, he loves it here. He likes Dillingham. He's not going to the draft. So I've never thought of that.
Right.
And
they didn't say he was. They just said.
They did the radio thing where you have to make up scenarios.
There could be a program. Again, I don't think anything's going to happen just because of the way the season's gone.
That's what I mean.
There's not going to be a bigger program that goes, hey, we'll double your NIL to come to our program for your last season.
Yeah, you thought that about. You didn't think Jaden Daniels was going to land in LSU either. Just going to throw that out there for you. Yeah, Cam Dreyer's an interesting thing this weekend. It's an interesting thing going forward.
Okay.
Quarterback 2 means he's the next guy in line if Jeff Sims gets hurt. I don't even know who the backup was the last couple of weeks after Jeff Sims. That tells me there's at least a contingency plan to put Cam into this game or a game coming up. If Levitt doesn't play, obviously that's off the table unless he gets hurt again. But there is a contingency where he gets some playing time. Either see what he can showcase or keep him happy as the future quarterback here of Arizona State University. Something to keep in mind from that perspective. Now you got me all worried about Levitt. Gosh darn it.
I hadn't even thought about
Tyson I thought about.
Yeah.
Because there's no benefit for him to keep. He's just not built. If that was the case, he would have tore that thing. He would have, whatever he did. I think he tore it, but they won't admit it. But he wouldn't have gotten that injury and then continued to play on it if that was his concern. Because anybody else would have been like, I got to sit out. I just tore my hamstring. I got to get ready for the NFL draft. The Levitt thing worries me more than anything else.
I just don't know, again, after this season. I could have seen it last year.
Oh, absolutely.
But after this season?
Why would you leave after this year?
And
not
why would
last
somebody
year?
offer him something worth leaving for?
Yeah. Levitt, I doubt just because of the relationship.
Unless Dillingham goes to LSU and brings Sam Levitt with him.
LSU's the one place he ain't ending up at. I'm just telling you guys right now. That fan, remember when they brought in Mike? Oh, that was Alabama. But remember when Alabama brought in Mike Price from Washington State?
Yep.
That guy had no chance. No chance in Alabama because they don't want some podunk guy from Washington State walking into Alabama and coaching that team. Now, Kenny does have SEC experience. Wasn't he OC at Auburn or something? So he knows the SEC.
I don't know. I don't think he was at Auburn, but
he was at one of those SEC schools. Robert did tag me in that. I knew that already, but he tagged. He said OC at Auburn for a while. So
really?
Robert said too. Yeah.
Well, that Mike Price didn't ever have a chance because he got fired 3 days after he got hired for being at a strip club using.
But the reason why that comes out is because people wanted him gone. That's the difference. He got caught, and that came out publicly because some high-power person wanted him fired. Otherwise, that gets swept under the rug. That stuff does not come out, and it happens all the time there, folks. I got news for
Is
you.
that how it was at
there.
the DuPont with you when you were a high-ranking executive?
When I go, every time I go to Alabama, they try to get me to get in those nefarious positions so they can plaster it all over the news and everything. Hey, World Series.
Yes.
Blue Jays tied it up, man. Ohtani, he made one bad pitch to Vlad, and he launched it. Like I said, almost back to Toronto on that hit. He threw that thing, and I go, don't hang it. He threw the one before it, and I go, don't hang it up there, buddy. Next one, he hung it right there. Bloop, and Vlad just connected on it. That was the one that put him ahead. They had tacked on some more runs afterwards.
Yes.
From that side of it. But Ohtani, I'll give Ohtani credit here. After the night before, the 18-inning game, first 2 times at bat, gets on base again in this one. I know it was until 11. I don't know how much it went past that. I had to get on a conference call, and I wasn't able. I was watching it. I felt kind of bad because I was watching it and trying to pay attention to what people were saying. Fantastic game last night. And then you got Blake Snell back on the mound tonight. He, obviously out of that game in game 1. How's he going to look tonight? The winner of Game 3 will be your winner of the World Series. I'm going to predict that right now.
You mean Game 5?
I mean Game 5, this game tonight. The third game in L.A. I do think will eventually be the World Series winner.
Well, you got to commend the way that the Blue Jays came back after a devastating loss.
To me, they look like they won.
Yeah.
They looked like they were fresh. They looked like they were ready to go. And the Dodgers, I don't know if it was a relaxation, like, oh, we won it, so now tonight we don't have to, do whatever. But the Blue Jays, I was shocked at how fresh they look compared to the Dodgers. Maybe that has to do with home cooking or just being able to hang out in a hotel all day.
Well, and
your wife's all bothering you when you wake up after an 18-inning game, and
when you talk about that, because
you got a vacuum.
I told people recently,
you haven't taken the trash out yet.
It's always so funny in Dallas. You could start checking into the hotel on Saturday like at noon.
For the home games?
For the home game.
All right.
But you didn't have to be there. I think dinner was at 6. And if you would have just rolled film and see all the guys that were checking in at 12:05, 12:50.
They're waiting in line for
they're
noon.
they're all in their 30s. They all have kids, and they got to get away from them. And the guys that come in at 5:55, all the young guys. What are I going to go to the hotel so early? But meanwhile, the older guys are there so you can nap and watch college football and
out by the pool, just hanging out.
And out by the pool.
Out by the pool.
No, you don't hang out by the pool the day before a game.
What?
Steve.
Why not?
Steve.
When I used to play, I used to hang out by the pool.
Yeah, you did back in 7th grade.
You don't just hang out by the pool? You don't relax outside?
No, you turn the air conditioning all the way down, mess up all the covers.
So the maids hate you?
Oh.
Yeah,
I wish I could do that today.
Well, you still can. Now I'm going to have to put Dale up in a hotel before every show. Dale's going to be like, I got a show in the morning. I got to go to the hotel and check in. I have to be there by 5.
I did not catch it last night. George Springer.
Mm-hmm.
Is he out for the series?
I
know he was out last night. I didn't know if it was for the series or he'll be out tonight too and maybe come back in Toronto.
Like I said, I did not have the sound on. I did not hear them say for the series. I did not hear him say that, but I don't think they said how long. Looking it up right quick here. We need some music here to do this. So, but like I said, I didn't have the sound on the whole game. I had to get on a conference call in 7:15, and it was the rest of the game is what I had to pay attention to that. So, George Springer says I got to get through all the fluff here and everything. So, yeah, Blue Jays could get Springer back for Game 5, according to the manager,
Really?
Snyder. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because he
He comes back and he's healthy. I think Toronto's
Yeah.
got the nod tonight as well. Blake Snell, which one are you going to get? You need him. You need Blake Snell to go deep tonight if you're the Dodgers. You cannot go to that bullpen. They are exhausted and ready to blow some games there as well. But yeah, Toronto Dodgers tonight, 5 p.m. Coming up tonight. This has been a fantastic World Series. This has been, dare I say it, the most fun World Series I think we've seen in several years. Last year wasn't stellar with the way the Yankees played. 2 years ago with the Diamondbacks, once you had to go to that bullpen game, it went sideways quickly at that point in that series. This is the most fun I think I've seen in a World Series in a long time.
well, unless Toronto goes ahead and wins Game 5 and 6.
Even Game 1, when that was a blowout, was fun to watch because you had that grand slam from that guy that slept on a couch the night before. If you don't know that story, the guy's in and out of the major leagues, hits that grand slam to break it open. Like, even that was fun in a blowout because it's good for a lot of it, and then it breaks open late. Like, even last night, it broke open late kind of a deal, right? Stuff like that. But I'm having fun with it. So who's going to win tonight? Who's going to end up getting this Game 5 and eventually winning the World? It's more important for the Dodgers to win tonight.
Yes.
Except for you have Yamamoto in the next game. If the Dodgers win tonight, that puts extra pressure on Toronto because Yamamoto has shut you down and been really good in these playoffs.
Well, what's going to happen with Yamamoto is either he's going to mow him down again and have three complete games, or he's going to
20
get,
plus,
or he's going to get thrashed.
But you don't want to find out when you have to win
No.
the game in Toronto. So I think Toronto needs to win this game tonight. I do think Toronto is going to eventually win the game tonight as well to go back home. And I think we have a really good chance to get Game 7 here coming up, or Game 8 if you want to include the 18-inning game coming up. So this has been a fun World Series. I've enjoyed it. Coming up tonight as well out there, and 5 o'clock first pitch. I think they play. Don't they play? I'm looking it up here. When do they play after tonight back in Toronto?
Friday.
So it is. So that means Friday, Game 7.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday would be Game 7. Ooh, against college football.
Well, they could rather go against college than.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I was wondering. I was like, are they matching up on Sunday against the? Well, you could go Sunday night. And doesn't the NFL used to not play on Sunday night, for the World Series start? But this is a Game 7. You're not going to not schedule an NFL game in case there's a Game 7. So I guess that makes sense from that side. So who do you got tonight, Dale? Curious. Who are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards the Blue Jays. I think that might have broke the Dodgers last night.
I think the Dodgers bullpen's a serious liability. It has been all year, but I think it's even more so now after that 18 minutes. They kept showing Kershaw in the bullpen last night, like he was going to come into that game or something, at some point. So interesting enough, just really quick to wrap this up, NBA power rankings out there, just to know what the national view is of your Phoenix Suns, right? The local team here. I was shocked by this. Shocked by this. Yahoo has them at number 26. I had to lean back. Color on it. 26. Pacers, Pelicans, Wizards, and Nets. The teams that are all 1 or 0 wins or 1 win and look like garbage this year are behind them. Raptors are ahead of them, and Jazz are ahead of them right now as well. So not high thoughts of your Phoenix Suns nationally.
That's why I'm wondering when you said shocking. I don't know what shocked you about that.
The fact that they're behind the Jazz and the Raptors.
They lost to the Jazz.
I know. Celtics are god-awful. Celtics are
I'm bracing
21
for
right now.
I'm bracing for just another miserable.
You're going to lose that 33 bet this year because they're going to win 12 games.
I'm not betting any more overs ever, especially on local teams.
Everybody's putting a lot of pressure on Jalen Green when he comes back that he's going to be dominant and carry this team. And he'll shoot the problem with Jalen Green, or I don't know if it's a problem, but he loves to shoot the ball. Loves to shoot the ball. And they'll put no restrictions on him. So I'm excited to see if he gets into the game tonight and does some stuff out there. Let's see what he does. It'll be fun to watch.
Well, let's start with him hopefully getting into the game.
Is that the first step?
And we still got to go through a shoot around, Steve. You know, there could be flare it up again.
We got McCollum on Business coming up here at 11 o'clock. The Feds make their decision during that show. So we'll find out if we get another quarter rate cut here in the interest rate. My mind's not on business right now, so I was struggling with that. A quarter one's coming. Can it be a half? Slight chance, but we'll have to pay attention to that. So come join me at 11 o'clock. Catch all the shows on demand on YouTube page as well. Free podcast system. And Dale, we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, show tomorrow. I don't know why we have to announce that. And I'm sorry I won't be in jail. I do apologize.
Dang.
I'll work on that for you
I had
guys.
the whole day off.
I promise.
Tomorrow.
You still can take it. Coach Sheehan tomorrow. Uncle Lou on Friday. Come join us, everybody. See you then.